Hi everybody, today we are finishing up our Ugly Naked Guy hobo bag, so let's get to it. We are starting with number 26 today, and we'll go ahead and finish up the rest of the bag. That's step 32. So the first thing that step 26 has us do is make this end of zipper tag. So this is what you're aiming for at the end. So take your zipper tab piece and you'll fold in the long edges first, and then your short edges. Fold them all in 1/2 inch. And this is best to press this as you go to get nice crisp edges. And then you'll put your short edges together to make the zipper tab. Mine ended up with this really cute astronaut on the end, so I'm going to use that on the top. And you just slip your zipper in there and we'll sew this. I did want to mention to put your zipper head on first, and you'll want to make sure that the flat part of your zipper is where you have your tab, because you'll be opening it up and that will be the end there. So we'll sew around just in a rectangle all around, just with 1/8 of an inch top stitching here. This will just help hold it on. And we again can do that needle down and pivot thing that we've been doing. I like to tuck my edge in so that I don't have any raw edge sticking out. You want to make sure that it's nice and crisp on the edges. And you can just kind of fold it, and then it doesn't affect how crisp your edges are, but it'll tuck in that raw edge. Okay, so we just did a little rectangle around. Okay, and don't forget, this super cute fabric is going to be on pre-order next month at Royal Pixie Custom Fabric. Our next step is to take your exterior here, and we'll be measuring. Take your side, this is your side, and you have the next seam over is where our side panel met our front or back, and you'll measure 1 inch over and mark that. So I have a pen here. Measure 1 inch over to your side seam. So you're aiming for this. You start at your side seam and go toward the middle on each side. So start at the side seam and go toward the middle 1 inch, and you're marking the 1 inch line. On both sides. And this is how we'll install the zipper. Okay. So I've marked mine. You can see this is my side seam, and then we have our zipper line here. Now the next thing is we need to mark our zipper, and my marker won't work on my zipper, so I have chalk, and I've already marked mine. But you measure 1 inch, this is for the small size, 1 inch, small and large has the 1 inch mark, and then 6 inches. The large size, it will be 7 3/4 inches for the large. And then at the 11 inch for the small, or 14.5 for the large. Okay, so we'll open this zipper. So we'll be doing one side at a time. So the first side, we put your 1 inch mark. Make sure you have your teeth facing your print. So you put your 1 inch mark on your zipper at your 1 inch mark on the bag, and we'll pin that. And then at that 1 inch mark, we fold the zipper up 90 degrees. So we'll just fold this up. I want to make sure that you saw that, because it is a little bit confusing. So we pinned our 1 inch marks, and then you turn this See, my teeth are now on top. Turn it like this, right at that 1-inch mark, and I'll pin that too. Okay, and then we continue pinning down. Your 6-inch mark will be right at your middle. And then your 11-inch mark will be at the other 1-inch mark that you made on the other side. Okay, so pin those landmarks first, and then go back and pin the rest in the middle. Okay, so we have the one side pinned. Okay, so now we'll baste this on with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and for this part where the zipper's turned up, you just go right over that. Over to that other 1-inch mark on the other side, and I'm going to backstitch just to make sure it's on there for now. Okay, so we have one side of the zipper on. I'm going to go ahead and open it up the rest of the way. One side of the zipper is on. Now we'll do the same thing with the other side. So use your other side of your zipper, and you've marked it the same way. So you just do the same thing. Match up your landmarks. And then we'll sew this side on. And don't forget to bend your zipper up again at a 90-degree angle at that 1-inch mark. Make sure that your sides match up here of your zipper. If they don't, it'll probably look a little funny. So make sure that you have them the same. If it's a little bit further than 1 inch or a little bit closer than 1 inch, that's less important than making sure that they actually match up. See how they're even together? Okay. Both sides are on. You can test it out. Make sure your edge matches up nicely. Looks pretty good. And you can go ahead and trim off the ends of the zipper there. Won't need those anymore. Okay. You want to have your zipper open because then we'll be putting our lining in. Make sure that this zipper is open. If you don't catch anything else that I say in this video, make sure that this is open, otherwise you won't be able to turn your bag. And it's right side out, and your exterior is inside. right side in. You slip them down together. You want your pocket for your lining to be opposite of the pocket on your exterior. So it should look like this as you put it in. You have your zipper here, and nothing on this side will be your back at the end. Okay, so slide that in there, match everything up, and I will pin it all up and be right back. Okay, we got this all pinned up, so this is what it'll look like. You'll sew around the whole outside with 3/8 inch seam allowance. You really want to try and keep this seam allowance even as you go. Start on one of the sides so that we kind of get our bearings on the seam allowance and everything before we move to the more curvy parts. Now here on this handle connector, you want to backstitch a couple of times to make sure that that is really secure. That's the part of your bag that will take a lot of wear and tear, so that needs to be solid. I like to turn it up as I go like this. Since this is the main seam for your bag, make sure you haven't used a basting stitch on this one. Make sure you have a small stitch length. You want this stitch to be really strong. I'm again back stitching over that handle connector. And we're almost all the way back around now. Okay, now that we've made it all the way around, we will turn the bag through that inside zipper. So use your inside zipper and pull, we can reach in and pull everything out. This one's not too bad to turn. Some bags, this gets really dicey. Okay, so we're starting to see that beautiful exterior now. You can reach in and pull that out. Okay, check all your seams as you go. And then we'll want to pull these out real nice. Make sure everything lays flat. When you get your pocket and everything looks good, you can seal this up. So what we're going to do is fold this in. So we tuck these down 1/2 inch all around, and then we'll pin it across. I like to do the ends first, and then the middle seems to kind of kind of fall in line a little bit easier. This one we're just going to be edge stitching it. So we'll just go right on the edge, about 1/8 of an inch, but you have to be sure to catch both sides, obviously. But you don't want to be doing too much because it'll pucker at the bottom of your pocket. So I'm going to edge stitch this at 1/8 of an inch. Tuck your pocket back inside there. Now that's all finished. And then you can tuck your lining in your main before you seal up your pocket if you want. It doesn't matter. As long as you're confident that everything's been caught in your final sew, then it doesn't matter which one you do first. So I'm just tucking my lining down into my exterior here. Sometimes that deco that doesn't like to lay straight, but it will eventually. There we go. Now we have something that looks like a bag. But we're almost done. We are going to top stitch along this top seam, and that will finish it off, and then we'll do the strap, and we'll be done. So I'm just separating this all out, getting ready to top stitch here. Okay, top stitching 1/8 of an inch. I like to actually do it from the top. It's harder to manipulate the bag, but I like to see what I'm doing and what it's going to look like on the top, because that's what I'm going to see. So it does take a little bit more manipulation around the machine, but I hope that it gives a better look in the end. Pull on that rectangle ring, make sure everything here at the end is pulled all out. Careful going over that end, sometimes it's pretty thick. Make sure your machine can handle it. Watch out for that zipper when you get to the end. Careful with that zipper, you don't want to accidentally catch it. Okay, all top stitched. Now the last part is the handle. So you'll use your rectangle rings. I'll zip this up. Okay, so now you can see your rectangle rings here. The pattern calls for a short handle, but for mine I've done this long one. I like more of a crossbody or a purse length. If you're doing a purse length with an adjustable, you wrap your end around the middle of your triangle slide glider. And then you'll take your other end and put it through your slider from the side of the bag to the outside. So from the zipper side out, and then pull that through. And then on your slider, go up and back down. Pull it through, and it should be wrapped around the one rectangle ring of your slider, and then your other end you should be able to attach to this other side from the outside in, and then you can turn it 2 times and sew it in place. If you've done the short one, all you have to do is this on each side. So how I did this, putting it from, as the pattern calls for, put it from the outside of the bag toward the zipper, and then turn 1 time, and then put it to the strap like that. And you can put rivets here, or you can sew. I usually sew it. I don't have a rivet press yet. Okay, so we just sew this 2 or 3 lines of sewing. Go 2 or 3 times back and forth. This is one of those points where you need the stability. Have to do that on the other side on this one, but you will if you've done the short handle. So there is our completed bag. Make sure to check out this fabric from Royal Pixie Custom Fabric coming March 5th, and I hope you join me for the next one. The next one will be the Rossitron through the month of March. Thanks everyone, see you later.